should I not be asking, why doesn't Egypt intervene with its military force, by force, to stop the aggression that is happening in Gaza? That should be a more appropriate question. Why doesn't Turkey? Why doesn't Lebanon? Why doesn't Syria? Why doesn't Saudi Arabia, with their military, go there and stop the aggression? Why? It's not about opening up and somehow taking the refugees, as you say. Why doesn't UK, France, Germany, Australia, Canada, USA say, you know what, we give you free ticket to come and stay in our country. We give you free citizenship. We give you land, we give you houses, we give you jobs. Did we hear any of that? Why don't they do that? They gave Palestine to the Jewish people when it wasn't theirs in the 48. So why doesn't, if you think there's a crisis, take all of these people, bring them to UK, take them to Australia, take them to United States of America. So do not just simply distract what's happening there. Let's talk about what is really what's happening in there. Do you, look, I'm saying that, I'm asking a bigger question. One second, go ahead. Let's start with the very basics. The very basics. The shelling with bombs on people like women and children. Is this an act of terrorism? Go ahead. The question is to you. Is this an act of terrorism by the Zionist state of Israel when they drop bombs and kill men, women and children who have nothing to do in this 7th of October, what happened? Do you consider this an act of terrorism?
Mansur, what I will say is that it's an act of war.
I didn't ask you that question.
No,
I am not going to ask you whether an act of war. I have a specific question for you. That question is, define terrorism for me if you didn't know. I will help you. Try to now help all of us to understand your definition of terrorism. Go ahead.
Terrorism, by its own definition, is to inflict terror on the undeserving geographical location or area.
Repeat that again.
Okay, so terrorism is to inflict on you unjustified or violence, right? The kind of violence, right, that you kind of make it seem as, okay, to an undeserving people, an undeserving geography, an undeserving group.
Where is the definition coming from?
Let's go to the dictionary.
No. Before you go, you define terrorism as an unjustified act of terror, undeserving act of terror. So where did you get this from?
Okay.
Because you already qualified with somewhat subtleties. Because you might then say, that's justified, that's deserving. So I want to know, where is this definition coming from? Okay, go ahead.
You want me to quote it from the dictionary?
No, I want you to define from an authoritative source.
I said it's exactly what I just saw. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay.
I enjoyed the conversation a few weeks ago.
Like I said. Okay. So this is Oxford Languages. It says the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political ends.
Is this anywhere near to your definition? Absolutely not.
No, they're not disagreeing.
You said
They're not disagreeing.
they are disagreeing.
How?
Okay, who agrees?
I
Raise your
said
hand. Okay,
unjustified.
raise raise your hands who agrees with him. No one raising your hand.
Okay.
So you
Raise your
define.
hands if you disagree.
Okay, who disagrees with him? Look at me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Wait.
Now I'm interested.
Wait. Good.
Now I'm interested.
Wait. Good. So let's take the definition of Oxford languages. Repeat again, word by word.
And I don't see. I'll repeat it word by word. Remember, can I repeat what I said?
I'm not interested in what you said because it doesn't align with what you have from an authoritative source.
What I said, and I'll repeat it.
I don't want to know your opinion anymore. I want to know what is terrorism defined as. You gave a dictionary definition, which I can take, no problem. But I'm not going to take your definition, which has no basis anyway, unless you are a scholar yourself.
When you see it,
Hang on. Let's see what Oxford languages define terrorism. Say it again, word by word. Because we're going to work on it.
So I'm going to invent mine as well.
No, I don't want yours.
No, I know.
I don't want
know,
yours.
but
I want
what
this
I don't want
definition.
you. I don't want you to misconstrue what I say.
I am not going to misconstrue it. I am going to use that definition, and on the basis of that definition, I'm going to ask you what Israel, the Zionist state, is doing. Is it terrorism or not? So I am very blunt and clear.
You can't say Israel is a Zionist.
I agree.
I can say
No, the state of Israel is a Zionist state.
the state encompasses the people.
The state represents Zionism. It is not what I am saying. It is what Netanyahu says. Wait. Do you know what Netanyahu says? Do you know what they say? It is their Bible which tells them what to do. How to behave with the Palestinians, like the Amaleks. Do you know the Amaleks in the Bible?
Of course I know the Amalek.
Right. What does God say? Okay. What does God say? What does God say that will happen, needs to happen to the Amalekites?
Yeah, so, okay. I have to give you context. I will answer your question. So, the Amalekites were persecuted by the Jewish people. They wanted to wipe them out, wanted to kill them. Okay? And the Jewish people were under a theocratic government, where God himself is judge. He says, go wipe them out. That's what he says. Go, God said himself, go wipe out the Amalekites.
And the details?
Okay, yes.
No, give me the details.
No, I said wipe them out.
No, that's not what God said only.
You want to make it true.
No, I want the details because that is what will determine exactly whether it's a Zionist state or not. Okay, give me the details.
Okay, so he said, go wipe out their money. Why did he say that?
No, stop. No. I want the details.
I'm giving you the details. I'm giving you the details.
Tell me the details.
Because in the book of Esther, do you remember Haman desired to wipe out the Jewish race? Haman descended from Amalekites. King Saul didn't listen to the perfect God who said, I see the justice, I see what they're doing. Haman descended from the Amalekites, and he almost did it. In fact, he got the king to sign a decree to wipe out the Jewish race. He almost did it.
And in response, what did God say?
God said, wipe out the Amalekites.
And the details.
And yes, and the details are very precise. All men, women, families. I know you want to hear children.
No, I want to hear exactly what God said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
No, he didn't say families.
Okay.
Try again.
No, I know. I already said, and I'm admitting that the Bible makes it very clear. The Amalekites were a threat to the Jewish race.
You are giving me the context. But I want to know, in response to this context, God is in response to what the Amalekites have done. God is commanding His armies and His prophets 300-400 years later to the children of the Amalekites who had nothing to do with what their forefathers have done. 300-400 years later, what did God command them? To go and kill every man every woman, continue. No, I want you to say.
on the roll.
No, I want you to say. I want to hear it from my
You want
nice
to hear it
mouth.
from my mouth.
Yes.
No, I think you're doing just
Go ahead, no, tell me.
You're doing just fine, man.
Go on, tell me. God commands. 300-400 years later, the Amalekites, their progeny, these people had nothing to do with this. So, let me finish. The Amalekites, God now commands to wipe, obliterate, annihilate. They were not directly responsible because they are descendants 300-400 years later. So God is saying, take revenge on these descendants. A few hundred years later, who had nothing to do with what they have done earlier, to go and kill. Can you tell me kill who? Kill who? Kill man? No, you tell me. Kill man, women, and...
Listen, I do not advocate it.
Excuse me. I want you to tell me first.
I just want to make it clear.
No, man, women, and then carry on.
According to the Bible,
According to the Bible, the biblical God, taking revenge.
and Malachi.
No, man, women.
Male, female.
No, men, women, and then continue.
Yes. You said children.
I didn't say anything. You tell me. Men, women, and
It says in the Bible. Not my words.
of course.
It says in the Bible, in the Torah. Well, not the Torah, but it says in the Law of the Prophets.
Say it.
Yes.
Kill men,
Everyone.
women.
Okay, we've labeled
No. We haven't labeled him yet. We haven't. We want to hear it from your own mouth. Kill every man, every woman, and then.
Okay. Mansur, with respect.
Excuse me. Why are you shying away from your Bible?
No shy.
Why are you shying against your action of your God? Okay, tell me that.
A man tried to wipe
Excuse
out
me.
the Jewish
Hey, Godhead.
because
Godhead.
the Amalekites.
Godhead, I've given the opportunity to speak to you. Now, I expect some kind of really sincerity from you. So, the Bible verse, like in Joshua, like in 1 Samuel 15, like in Ezekiel 9:5, it says, go and kill every man, women, and then continue. What does it say?
Yeah, I don't. The Bible said
No. Children. Okay, and then, so men, women, children, and then what? No, that's not it.
Look at the Bible.
Look at the Bible. Okay, open up. Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 5. Right now. So we go to the actual text. No. We want to deal with this first. Because the question I asked you, whether you accept that is terrorism, what Israel is doing is not, that's the context. So we were now defining.
You asked me a question.
Excuse me, can you read?
Answered my question.
Can you read this?
I've answered plenty
Don't worry.
of your questions.
No, you haven't. Can you read Ezekiel 9:5?
I admit it. You asked.
No.
You said.
Just read it, man.
Let
I
me.
did. I did.
No, you
I
haven't.
admit. I said.
Ezekiel chapter 9
Wants
verse
children, he
5.
wants babies. I don't know, what else do you want? I said every single Amalekite.
No,
The Amalekites
I want you to
tried
read the
kill
whole
the
verse.
promised people.
Hey, daughter, I know the context. The context is your forefathers. Imagine you're an Amalekite. Wait, let me show you the scenario. The justification. You, an Amalekite today, you haven't done anything to the Jewish people. But your forefathers, a few hundred years ago, did something.
What do you know about the Amalekites?
I'll tell you.
I can educate you.
No, you can't educate me. Because you are afraid to even read your own Bible. How can you educate
No,
me?
I'm not
So
afraid.
open up.
I've got my
Open up
Bible.
Ezekiel
I've got
chapter
my
9
Bible.
5.
But if you, okay, so I will open it up
Now open up
on the
right now.
basis you allow me to answer your question.
No, open up right now and let's read it
Because
together.
if you're holding
Excuse me.
the position for the Palestinians, and I do not want to
Follow him through the city and kill without showing pity or compassion. Slaughter the old men. Old men? Young men, women, the mothers and children. So, wait. The old men and children. Let's talk about. Wait.
Why doesn't?
Excuse me, Godhead. What's your real name? That's a funny name.
No, there's no.
That's a funny name.
There's no.